flash update for this Friday. And we are now on Friday, the 14th of August, 2020, and the time 9:30 a.m. Central Time. A quiet stock market, basically unchanged in the S&P, down a fraction in the Dow. We were down a lot more earlier. The market has made up those losses rather nicely, in fact. You can see how the NASDAQ has come back as well. The metal markets are still under that pressure. Silver, in my opinion, is still got too much volatility. You got another $1.50 range. Hard to trade a market when you get that kind of volatility. We're seeing the euros continuing to move up. The Canadian is flat today. British pound, warn traders, I think it can go a bit higher here, even though I think the market's got a funny technical picture. Now, what's going on in bonds and notes? That's going to be the interesting part. Did we get a turn where these low interest rates, these really low interest rates, maybe we have seen the trough in that, and the market wants to pick up a little. I think the market's got to pay attention to that. In the grain market, you've got to be very, very worried about how the virtual meeting tomorrow goes between the U.S. and Chinese negotiators. What is China going to say? I personally expect they're going to say they're going to live up to their commitment. Doesn't mean they will, but it's August. They've got time. They typically buy soybeans heavily between now, I've mentioned this over and over, in the end of the year from the U.S., because if you think how the southern hemisphere works, the crops there are done. Brazil, Argentina, they sell off their beans and they come to the U.S. for them. Obviously, a big part of this is going to be how does the dollar play out with it. Dollar seems to be weakening again, which plays into the hands of grain purchases. So we'll see what that does. As for the data, today the University of Michigan consumer sentiment came out at 72.8 versus July 72.5. Current conditions about where they were, and expectations index actually up a little bit. I was surprised at that, given the COVID cases, how they're rising again. The Federal Reserve's industrial production and capacity came out 3%. The market expected 2.8. Utilization 70.6. All these numbers are good beats or right on the money. I like that too. Retail sales. It's a mixed picture here. If you go to retail X auto, it jumps. If you do it including the auto, it falls. That doesn't make sense. There's got to be some lag there, that there's something wrong. I don't know what that is. Retail sales on their own up a full point. That is a good number. Business inventories down about where the market thought. So I'm not upset with any of that. The data's okay. So here's the question. Does the market get itself set today and come roaring into the market and try to give us over the weekend the euphoric all-time high close or not? That's going to be the big question in the S&P. Everybody seems to be geared on it. Just because there's the goalpost, do you go for it, or is this a double top and you got to go all the way down to the other side of the field? I don't know. So we'll get that. Now let me tell you something that's going to happen. Those of you that have signed up on my website in the past are going to get an invitation after 12 o'clock Central Time today to join in to my webinar this coming Sunday, and that webinar is going to come out for you at, I'll let that noise go. The webinar is going to happen at 5 p.m. Sunday. So look for it. It's an invitation only. It'll be there. The reason for that is first we let in our paid subscribers. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a good day. I'll see you all come Monday.